I'm pleased to welcome back to Engage after a one-year hiatus, a domain expert in social media that does a lot of work consulting with agencies on how to build a social media strategy. So please welcome Christy Dalton.
Thank you, thank you.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
So what have you been up to? We last saw you at 2013 Engage.
That's right.
And you were out here yesterday doing a little bit of filming, right? Working with some of our attendees. But what have you been up to since we last saw you?
Well, let's see. I have worked, the last you saw me, I was actually working for eRepublic, the company behind some top industry publications like Government Technology Magazine and Governing Emergency Management. And I have since then created my own company, Government Social Media. I'm still doing the GovGirl brand, and so that's why you may have seen me interviewing some of the folks yesterday. And so I'm really working one-on-one with government agencies and traveling just about all over.
All right. Well, we'd love to hear more about it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And actually, I wanted to thank you if you participated in a video yesterday. I was shooting a little GovGirl video, and so I'd like to thank you for that. Actually, I noticed there were two different types of people. There was the one type that would have no problem being on camera and interviewed with me. And then there was the other type of person that took about a 30-step detour and avoided making any eye contact to make sure that you aren't on camera, so you know who you are. And but that's okay too. So thank you to everyone who participated in the interviews. And we'll have a video shortly at govgirl.com that you can check out. You know, what I really wanted to focus on today is the fact that, and I have about 10 minutes with you, so this will be pretty brief. Excel Engage is all about redefining the government experience. And I do think that in this social world, the experience with City Hall and the expectation that citizens have for interactions with City Hall is a whole lot different than it was several years ago when we were creating social media profiles for government entities. The last government agency that I worked for was the city of Reno, Nevada, and I actually launched Reno's social media profiles back in about '06 and '07. And I really think that if you work in government, you have an aha moment. And your aha moment tells you in real hands-on experience what this value in citizen interaction is. It's one thing to talk about it, but until you experience it, you really don't get it. And when I was working for the city of Reno, my aha moment came about with our social media presence. So we launched our Facebook profile, and we were interacting, or we thought we were interacting with citizens on social media, but back in the day, it was basically, we would talk about when public meetings were going to be held. We would share information like that, public notices, changes to ordinance, things like that. And I really didn't understand the value of engagement until one time I posted an image on the City of Reno's Facebook page. And this changed everything for me. That was the image. Reno actually has an annual balloon race festival. It's a major thing going on in Reno. And that particular year, we happened to have a different style of balloon. It was cool. It was Darth Vader's head. How much more fun can you get on that? And I just decided on a whim I would post this on our official Facebook page. But the interaction that I got from citizens, their likes, their comments, it was just really engaging, and I realized, aha, my aha moment. Aha, I said that out loud. When we actually post something that citizens like and they care about and they engage with, they reply to us, they like it, they talk to other people about it. And it was a great moment for me, and I realized that if we continue this, we'll have a lot of engagement. And Reno actually became known for having a conversational tone on social media. It was a wonderful experience. I left government, as I mentioned, and started to work for eRepublic, managing new media for them. And then I created my current company, Government Social Media. And I did this little experiment. I was wondering, are there enough social media managers in government to fill up a room at a conference very much like this. If we had a social media in local government conference, would people actually come? And it turns out that they did come. There were a lot of people who interfaced in some way with social media in local and also state government. We created this social media conference and was so excited to see that so many different people attended, but they weren't in the roles of social media coordinator or social media manager. Very few of them had those official titles. Instead, they were more people like you, people in IT, or in building permits, or in code enforcement, who interfaced in some way with social media. We're seeing this space evolve a lot. In fact, one of the things that we started realizing is that social networks are starting to see government as a, particularly city, county, state government, as a viable agency to work with government. So the networks such as Facebook, they have a government team. Twitter has a politics team. Google has a government team. LinkedIn is getting there. And also the companies that create social products that are interfacing with government agencies are realizing government is a viable market to create these platforms and to create things that are specifically for government, such as Nextdoor, Hootsuite, Sprout Social. It's an interesting and exciting time to be in government social media. Citizens' expectations are evolving. They expect if you experience something in everyday life, for instance, I came out here last week. I flew into LAX and I wanted to rent a car. I had pre-reserved it. I went to the Avis car rental and I waited in line for an hour for a pre-reserved car, and that was not acceptable to me. So what did I do? I didn't speak with the manager or make a scene there. No, I went to Twitter and I tweeted my anger about this, and I made sure and included their handle in it. And sure enough, I got a response about an apology from Avis, and it happened pretty immediately. See, citizens these days expect that kind of immediate response from government. And the definition of immediate response from citizens might be completely different than what an immediate response would be from the government entity. For instance, something unfolded on Twitter just last month, which really illustrated this difference in the understanding of what an immediate response would look like. Someone sent a tweet that unfortunately he noticed that there was a dead raccoon on the sidewalk in his city. This was actually in the city of Toronto. And so he tweeted that to the Toronto City's 311 service center. They replied and said, thank you. We will report this on to Animal Services. Problem solved. Problem not solved. Because although it was reported to Animal Services, they didn't take immediate action. And citizens, being the interesting people that they are sometimes, they decided that they would begin by creating a memorial to this dead raccoon. Someone walked by and placed flowers on the dead raccoon. Someone else walked by and put a piece of paper with a hashtag that said Dead Raccoon TO, and then it went just viral, TO for Toronto, and then it went viral on Twitter. People started retweeting, why isn't Animal Services dealing with this dead raccoon? It's still there. More people put flowers on it. As the day went on and the hours went on, and keep in mind, this is still the same day, someone placed a donation box so it could have a proper burial next to the dead raccoon. Originally, right. As the night wore on, a candlelight vigil was held. Someone also placed a condolences card with a Sharpie next to it. And I think the kicker is that someone actually took the time to print out the picture of a raccoon and frame it. Actually, Animal Services for the City of Toronto came out and took the raccoon away that evening. I want to say at about 11:30 that evening, and it was reported in the morning. And by all means, animal service timeframes, that was probably okay, but not with the new citizen expectation that things will be dealt with immediately. And they didn't really understand the virality of this online. Of course, citizens in good spirit had something special there the next day. So alongside the idea that citizen expectations are changing, government social media strategy is changing, and I see this all the time, and it's very exciting. For instance, the mayor of Provo City, Utah, he was late to the State of the City address by a few minutes. And then they put together a YouTube video explaining all the different reasons why he was late. And of course, he was running through their beautiful community with these letters talking about what they're rated first and second place in the nation on. He was climbing rock walls and doing all these different things. It was a fantastic video. LA's neighbors, actually, in West Hollywood, they have a fantastic understanding of how to use social media to target specific segments of their audience who wouldn't reach government messages any other way. They have a very specific segment of the community that they were targeting in a SNL parody. It worked out fantastically well for them, and they have support from management. Government social strategy is evolving as well. I will end on that, and I wanted to just note, if you'd like to talk about social media a little bit more, I am hosting a session at 1 p.m. for about 45 minutes, and I encourage you to please stop by. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Christy.
Thank you again.
That was great. Thank you. So do you remember the Seinfeld episode when Jerry has a reservation, but the car's not ready, and the accountant person says, well, I know what a reservation says. I don't think you do. Otherwise, the car would have been ready. So, good one. Go back on that. So you're working with agencies of all sizes.
Correct.
How do they get started? When I imagine there's probably all kinds of states of readiness, and often maybe they don't even know what they don't know. So is there a process that you can work through with the agencies to help them define their strategy?
To get started on social media, what you want to start off with is a few key things. And at the very first level, you want to create a team, and you want to have a good, sound social media policy. And then we can work through the strategy as we go.
All right, very good. We'll see you later today at 1 o'clock.
Thank you so much. Bye.